Happy Monday. Welcome to Rachael Miller TV. I am Rachael Miller, and I am so glad to have you with me today. The TV and Rachael Miller TV stands for True Vision because we believe that God has a true vision for your life and he wants you to manifest your best self in the earth. Well, I bring you tidings, great tidings from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a beautiful day today in Charlotte. It's probably about 80 something degrees. It's going to be in the 80s right now. It is 87 years old. It's 87 degrees outside and climbing. So I pray that you are doing well. You are right on time for lunch with Rachel. If it's your very first time, and you are not a subscriber of the channel, I invite you to subscribe to be a part of the Rachael Miller TV family. And those of you who'll be watching on the replay, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. But welcome. How was your weekend, everybody? We made it through Palm Sunday, coming up on Good Friday, coming up this week, getting ready for Easter. And I don't know if you have plans for the Easter holiday, the Easter Resurrection Day, but I welcome you for this awesome time that we have together. But I am looking forward to this Resurrection Week for many of us that are Christians. Um, this is a beautiful week for us to be able to prepare to celebrate the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And so I'm looking forward to celebrating this weekend, looking forward to celebrating with family, looking forward to going to church. And so for today on this Monday, I was trying to think about like what is really on my heart to share with you today. What's really on my heart. And I did a presentation this morning, and in my presentation, I was asking a group of people what was their why. What was their why? And one of the young ladies flipped the script on me, and she asked me what was my why. And one thing that I realized is that sometimes why we do certain things, our whys can change and our whys evolve. And I think it's so important that you understand and that you know why you are doing what you do, why you are endeavoring to do what you do. You should always know your why. And when you know your why becomes your backbone for stability. Your why becomes your backbone for growth so that you will remain steadfast on the task at hand when you understand your why. And when you have that why, and I think it's important that you write your why down so that you can go back and review it, so that if you change your mind, and it's okay to change your mind and go in a whole nother direction, but if you change your mind, you always can go back and read your why. So you know why you're doing what you are doing. And so today, on this Monday before Easter, I'm thinking about my why. Why are we here? Why do we gather together? This why before Easter, this why are we on part of Rachael Miller TV? And I know my why, and I know why I want to be a part of your life. I understand my why. And part of the reason why I want to be a part of your life is because I believe that on this journey called life, that God has equipped me, and from the time I was in my mother's womb, literally, and put within me it's like this unstoppable thirst to impact lives. And I can't turn it off. So I have aligned my life with what it takes to be a blessing. That is my why. And I want to see you reach your God given destiny. That is my why. It is an unquenchable thirst that I cannot turn off. And so I'm so thankful for each of you who are part of this channel. For those of you who come in, I'm so thankful for each of you. And I appreciate the hearts. Thank you for the love. Those of you who are not subscribers, I invite you to be a part of the Rachael Miller TV family because I understand my why. I know why I'm here. And I know what is in my heart and where I'm praying that you will make it to in your individual lives. So today we are going to examine why we do what we do. Why do you work where you work? Just understanding what is your why. Hi, Shay. Hi, Shay. God bless you. Glad that you are on. Hi, Coral. Glad that you are on. Um, but why are you doing? I was thinking about why I was creating the content that I was creating. If you go into my shorts, you'll look at I've been doing church visits lately. Church visits, a lot of church visits. And I understand the importance of finding like one church, but for those of you who don't know, I have the honor of living. Hi there, Ann. Oh, God, glad you're here. I have the honor and the privilege to be able to live in two states, not because I wanted to, but because one of my careers took me to one state and another career took me to a different state. Thus, I live in two states. Okay. And I tell you, I did not want to do it. And literally, it has been the thing that is enlarging my territory. And I have to ask myself, why? Why am I continuing? Why? What is it that I'm doing? And how can I use this to be a blessing to others? And so today I salute you. I salute you, Ann. I salute you, Shay. I salute you, Cora. I salute all of you who are watching on the back end. I salute you that you will come to know and understand what is your why. You will come to understand what is your why, even for um, what you believe is in your heart to do. What is that? What is your why? And understanding why you are doing whatever it is that your hands are finding to do. Identify the why. Is it for selfish reasons? Is it for, is your heart in the right place? So, looking at all those different things so that you can make sure that you are living, you can honestly say that with a good heart, you understand your why. And so, I'm just kind of coming back from that session today. Um, I'm just coming back from that session today that was like beyond a blessing. I mean, like, it was beyond a blessing. And um, I had shared a story, and I'll tell you all this. When my kids were little, when they were little, and this is part of my why for going into aviation, because somebody had asked me, what was my why? So I just go ahead and tell you instead of talking in circles, I just go ahead and tell you. So when my kids were little, we couldn't afford to take them. We couldn't afford to take them to um, on vacations. And um, so what we would do is we would sign up for timeshares. And my neighbor at the time, she would, they worked for one of the biggest airlines, one of the biggest airlines in Atlanta. So Atlanta's one of their bases. And her kids for like spring breaks, they would go to all these fabulous places. Like they would go to, I mean, I'm talking like not just Disney, but if there was a Disney in like Japan, they were gonna go to Japan. I mean, they were going all these different places, right? And so I remember thinking the best that we could do was get in the car, we could drive to Orlando. But my kids, they loved it. And back then they were small. Now my kids are adults now. They're adults. So I'm talking about adult children. So my kids would literally be so excited. They had no idea what it took for us to make that happen in their life. And as adults, if you ask them, oh, does your family do vacations? They will say, oh, yeah, we used to always go to this resort and that resort. They'll tell you all these different things, but they don't know the backstory because it was a struggle to do it. But it wasn't a struggle because we found a way to take them on vacation without spending but few $100s. Like we were able to have a whole week vacation for just a few $100 because but we would have to sit and listen to those timeshares. And my husband told me, he said, Honey, I never want to listen to another timeshare again in my life because we did that when the kids were little. And that's how we would get free tickets to the Disney, and we would get free tickets, and then we would get the discounted. Sometimes they would do free or discounted housing. We would do all of that. And so I told myself that I wanted to work in aviation, that I wanted to get a job in aviation so that I would be able to fly for free, and I would be able to take my kids too on these exciting trips and these exciting vacations. And now I'm just a few years away. I'm like 3 years away from having uh, lifetime flight benefits. And I thought that that was gonna feel like fun. Like I thought that that was gonna feel amazing. But right now, it doesn't feel like it did before. I'm in a different place financially. So it's different, like I'm in a position to be able to buy a ticket and go wherever I want to go and do what I want to do. And so I'm like, do I continue for the next few years to work on getting my flight benefits? And everybody's like, oh, you should stick with it. You only have 3 more years left. You should stick with it. So, so anyway, that was my why. But here's the thing. Now I've changed. Financial situation has changed. So I don't need flight benefits to go where I want to go. So now I have to look for a deeper why. Is my why because I want to take amazing vacations? Well, I can take amazing vacation without my job. So what's my why? Why am I here? So that's why you have to ask yourself, why are you showing up for whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you get involved in? If you're not a subscriber of Rachel Miller TV, go ahead and subscribe. You have to know your why. So let us pause today in this resurrection week. Um, in this resurrection week, and let's look at our why. We get one amazing life to live. And let's make sure that everything that we do aligns up with our why. Whatever our why is, that it lines up with our why. Whatever it is that our why is, that it lines up with our why. What's your why? Know your why. Write your why down. So when the going gets tough, you will stay focused. If you want to go back to school, write your why down. So on the days that you feel like quitting, you have your why in front of you and you can do it. Some people tell me they want to go do real estate. Why? What's your why? Write it down. There are people who jump, they want to do this and they want to do that, and they want to change it, change it, change it, want to do all these different things. No, identify your why. And once you understand what your why is, then you can ask yourself, okay, can I stand on that why? Can I stand on that why? So on the nights that you don't feel like studying, so on the nights that you feel like doing something else, that you can really go forth and see that goal. Now, I had to do that with my master's degree. When I wanted to get my master's degree, I put it off for a very long time, but then I understood my why. And then even with my doctorate, I understood my why. I could hear people calling me Dr. Rachel. I could hear it. I could hear people saying, Dr. Rachel. I could hear, as a matter of fact, there's people who already now call me Dr. Rachel. I've already, enrolled in school for for my doctorate. I have not taken not one class but I understand my why. You have to know what your why is. I understand my why, but I have to make sure that my alignment, my timing is everything. So, what is your timing saying to you? What is it that you're supposed to do? What's your why? Hi there. I'm certified Christian life coach. Welcome. If you are not a subscriber of Rachel Miller TV, I invite you to subscribe. The TV stands for True Vision because we believe that God has a true vision for your life and He wants you to manifest your best self in the earth. Today I'm talking about what's your why. I did say I'm a certified Christian life coach. Those of you who don't know me, I'm a wife. I am a mother of 3 adult children. And I live in 2 states, which is kind of interesting. So I go back and forth between 2 states. Um, and let's see what else is interesting. You've done nothing to want me to subscribe. Okay, that's fine. And I'm glad you said that because I prayed that God would only send me the right people who are a part of this Rachel Miller TV, this True Vision family. And please don't hit the subscribe button. If you don't want to be in a place where you can be empowered, I empower people to move forward into their God given destiny. I believe that we should live our lives like trees planted by the rivers of water, bringing forth fruit in their season. Their leaf shall not wither, and whatever they do will prosper. No, I'm glad it's not an insult. I am so glad that I have the opportunity to have God handpick those people who should be a part of the channel. Okay. And so, all of the people who are a part, I pray, spend my time praying for, spend my time praying that God will send all the right people whose lives I'm supposed to empower. And the people whose lives I'm supposed to empower, they'll know it in my voice. Okay. Um, they know it. So, you know, I just thank God. So there's so many other YouTube channels to go to, but only the people that God handpicks to be a part of this channel, those are the ones that'll be right here. All right. So let's talk about our whys. Why are we doing things? Why are we even having this conversation right now? Why are we segueing? Well, we don't have to segue. We can go back into our why. So I can stand bold in a conversation and understand my why. I can understand my why. I can understand what God has called me to do in the earth. And excuse me, y'all, one second. So when you understand your why, you don't have to entertain things that are not of God. When you understand your why, you can be focused even when someone only wants to make a distraction. And that's interesting enough. There will be times, there will be times where things will come up in your life that will try to distract you, but you have to stay focused. You have to know your why. Okay? You have to know your why. So for I know for my channel, listen, I know what the why is, and I know why we are here on Thursdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. I know why we're here, and it's to empower you to live your best life. Okay? It's to empower you to live your best life. Are you living your best life? Are you living your best life? Do you feel like you are connecting with God to where you can understand who He is and who He's calling you to be in this season? Um, and you get to different seasons of your life. Like, I love the season of my life that I'm in right now. And I pray you like the season of your life that you're in. And if you don't like the season that you're in, change the narrative. Change the narrative of the season. Change the narrative of the season that you're in. Okay. If you don't like the narrative, there's something about your life that you do not like, you have the ability to change the narrative. Okay. Don't ignore facets of your life that need your attention. And if you need to change something, you can fix it. And if you don't know how to fix it, that's where you employ someone like myself as a certified life coach. I have a master's in human services counseling life coaching. You find someone who can talk to you, or you show up, go through the videos on the channel and listen to them. I have so many videos on this channel to bless you, so many videos to empower you. so many videos that will get you going into your God-given destiny. So many videos that will help you with your goals, that help you to stay focused. And I've got some fun stuff in there too that you can go back and you can watch that I think will be a blessing as well. So, again, I'm only here for a few minutes. I really didn't have a big agenda for today. I didn't have like a lesson planned out. And even when I got in the car, I was like, God, what are we going to talk about? I was like, I'll just open my mouth and whatever comes out. So I pray that there is something that I said. Uh, oh, hey, Patrilla, God bless you. I pray that there's something that I said. Oh, somebody that is amazing in God's kingdom. Wow. You want to talk about somebody who knows how to get a prayer through. You want to talk about somebody who she's like, her words are like fire, like she can speak and God hears. It's just powerful. That's Patrilla. Patrilla, I am so glad that you are on. Oh my goodness. And for the rest of you who are on, thank you so much for being on with me. Again, I did not have a special message for today. Just wanted to come and say hello. We're going into Easter. You know, I went to a special worship service last night. It was a Palm Sunday worship service. I did a little clip of that in my shorts. So if you get a chance to go into my channel, look for clips from last night's worship service. It was really good. But people like Patrilla, we have history. We've been amongst the greats of the greats. Patrilla knows we've been amongst the greats of the greats, and some of the greats that we've been amongst, they have passed. And I believe God knows how to pass the baton. Okay, Patrilla, God still has got need of you. He wants to use the gifts that you have, because Patrilla and I have been amongst the best of the best. And we have seen people who've had great calls of God on their life go home to be with the Lord. We were around when Paul and Jan Crouch were alive. I was on the campus of ORU when Oral Roberts and his wife were alive. I've seen a lot of great men and women of God, literally, who have been in this earth and go home to be with the Lord. And I believe that the batons are being passed. The batons are being passed. And while you still have breath in your body, your heart is beating, you don't have to, you start getting old, you don't have to get old. Somebody asked me a question earlier. They were like, how old are you? I'm not ashamed of my age. I'm thankful. I'm in my 50s. I'm excited to be in my 50s. And this year I will celebrate a milestone birthday in my 50s. So I'm excited about that. They call it double nickels. So that I'm looking forward to. But God is good. And Patrilla, I want you to know that the oil from that season that we were in together, we were at Trinity Broadcasting Network, the world's largest Christian television network, together. Patrilla, woman of faith, loves God. She would be there serving all the people who would come in, the ministers, all the ministry gifts that would come in. And I hear in my spirit, Patrilla, God say, I have not forgotten about that season of service. Wow. He said, I have not forgotten about that season of service. And you have sown into good ground. As a matter of fact, during the time when you were serving, it's probably about the age that I am right now. But God says he has not forgotten about that season of service. We both have some amazing seed in the ground. And those seeds will take root. They will spring up a well of seeds, spring up a well of harvest. And this is an edible season. There you go from a season in your life to where your roots are being planted down in the ground. People can't see it, and then you springing up and all this. But this is an edible season. This is a season where the fruit will be edible and the fruit will remain. I mean, like good, ripe fruit. Okay?